Hello, and welcome to Move or Improve with Debbie. I'm Debbie Miller, your host, and today we're going to talk about one of the retirement places that I've been discussing for the past year or so, different places to think about going to. And one of my favorite places is going to be on today with Michele De Vahle, and we are going to talk about moving to Tampa. And Tampa is such a wonderful city in Florida, of course, and I'm lucky to have a native Floridian in Michele. She's going to talk about living in a big city, and we're going to learn some insider secrets from a local and have some fun. So welcome to the show, Michele. I'm glad you could join me today. And I bet the weather down there is gorgeous. And let's get started.
Great. Thanks. Thank you so much for having me, Debbie.
No problem. So you're native to the area. We won't talk about how long that's been, but what do you like best about living in Tampa? For me, it's got to be the amazing weather and the variety of things to do, but I want to hear it from your end what the best things are about living in Tampa.
For me, it's pretty much just like you said, the same thing. I love the amazing weather. We are outside a lot. I love doing outdoor activities. And there's such a variety of things to do all year long. I'm a big water person. So even though in Tampa, we're not centrally around a bunch of water, there still is water around us. But I just love the weather. I'm always outside.
That's awesome. So do you sleep in a tent outside, or do you go in your house at night? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We are in the house a lot with the AC on as well at night. Yeah, it gets a little humid.
I'm sure. Well, you're close to the Gulf of Mexico. You're right there on Tampa Bay, and the beaches, on the Gulf have the soft white sand and everything. So, what kinds of things other than water sports? What kinds of things are there to do?
Well, of course, we have museums. We do have all kinds of art shows, craft shows. There are just a plethora of places to go for museums, even if you consider the Tampa Bay area, meaning you're going to jump across the bridge and go over there, but even downtown Tampa. So we've got downtown Tampa, which's got so many things to do down there as well as far as looking at the water. But my favorite thing to do, of course, is being around the water. But we have just parks and gatherings for anything you can think of, from downtown to Ybor to Seminole Heights, which is a popping, growing place to live as well now. You can go from the suburbs to downtown within 15 minutes, and pretty much just anything you can think of, we have it here to do.
Well, one thing I do enjoy when I go to Tampa is walking the river walk and seeing all those gorgeous houses. The architecture is just beautiful, those homes. And then going down, I have to have a meal at Eulali's. That's my favorite spot. But there's so many good places, and there's so much. I like the way they've revitalized the Riverwalk area, and they have the pirate. We talk about the pirates thing that's in where they turn the water a strange color and.
So Gasparilla, I actually was in a crew of the conquistadors. So Gasparilla has been around for quite a while. We do an invasion, a pirate festival invasion. It's been celebrated actually since 1904 when pirates invaded the city.
Wow.
We have several activities that go around with that pirate invasion, whether it's art shows, we have races if you like to run or walk. They do also follow that by a parade. There's the children's parade, the adult parade, the night parade, and also they just celebrated last month, which was the green one that you're talking about, where they put the water in St. Patrick.
The water green for St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So we have the band of pirates, and they kind of come, they seize the downtown, and the parades get very long, but they're very much fun. You throw a lot of beads, you collect a lot of beads, but that's been going on, like I said, since 1904, and that came from Jose Gaspar, who was a pirate who terrorized the water out here in West Florida. So yeah, they've been doing it since the late early 19th centuries.
So I hope he doesn't have any descendants still around terrorizing people. I hope they've gotten rid of everybody, but not that I have anything against pirates. It's just we want to make sure it's safe to go out. It's safe to go out. But now, okay, so we have warm temperatures pretty much all year round. Is that the weather? And I know I have friends who moved to Tampa, and she actually said, "Oh my gosh, Debbie, it is 70 degrees. I had to put a sweater on." And I just laughed and laughed and laughed. I just cracked me up. She's really gotten the thin blood.
Yeah, it's true. Well, for here, about the high temperature on average is about 82. It can get up into the 90s, of course, with a high humidity in the summer. But the average low is about 63 degrees Fahrenheit. We do have a few cold days in the winter where maybe you'll have to break out a jacket or a sweater, like your friend said. I think I got to wear boots this year maybe 5 times between December and February, and that was it. So.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Well, now tell me, I know Florida, I did a segment on the good, the bad, and the ugly of living in Florida a week or so ago. And I talked about it's the lightning capital of the world. So is that a problem down in the Tampa area?
We do get a lot of precipitation here. We have over, on average, 105 days per year versus the 246 on average sunny days. But yeah, we have been known to be the lightning capital of the world. They say more accurately, it's the lightning capital of North America. I did own a home that was actually struck by lightning.
Oh, geez.
Yep. Most of the homes in that neighborhood actually had been struck by lightning.
Oh my God.
It can be a little disruptive. A lot of pets do not like it. Some children, of course, don't like it as well. But I know that my current dog and cats, when it gets really grumbly outside, that they're running for cover. But yeah.
So is there anything that people need to do to prepare for, or do you just say, "Oh, lightning storm coming"? Do you have to run to the middle like you do in a tornado or the middle of the house or whatever?
I don't really think you need to be in the middle of the house, but I have heard stories where lightning has come through the house and done some damage. I don't think those are as prevalent as, it could be, but you definitely want to get inside. You don't want to be outside. You hear stories every year where golfers or somebody gets hit.
That's for sure. So do you have to have special homeowners insurance? Like you have flood insurance, you have to have lightning insurance on your house or what?
Nope. Now they do have, so the electric company here, which is the main one in Hillsborough, is Tampa Electric. They do encourage residents to get what's called a ZAP cap. And that supposedly will protect your entire home. If they do tell you that maybe pull out your unplugs for your computers. It depends on how bad. Some of the systems that go through, though, are so quick that you don't even know, unless you're paying attention to the radar, you don't really know how bad it could be. And they change so quickly coming off the Gulf waters. You can see where it seems like it's going to come right for you. And then as soon as it hit land, it disperses and changes. So you just always need to be aware in the months of pretty much March, April, May, June, July, August. You just need to be aware.
Yeah, and be prepared and just know that it's going to happen. There's a good chance it's going to happen, and don't do something stupid like you need to cut your golf game short.
Right. Get inside.
Go under a tree. Yeah, for sure. Well, I know a lot of people listening are going to want to know, obviously, the fun part, but let's get to the nitty gritty about taxes. I know that Florida has a lot of advantages with income tax and that sort of thing, but talk about what someone could expect with the tax rate. Is there an additional tax that Tampa residents have to pay? That kind of thing.
So currently our taxes are relatively low in the state of Florida. It's about 6%. Hillsborough County or Tampa, where I am, it's 8.5%. It did increase from the 7% that was January of 2019. They voted it in. Tampa does pay an additional sales tax to pay for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers football stadium. But on the average, it's relatively low tax rate, and Florida does not have a state income tax.
Yeah, that's a big plus. I think that's why a lot of people locate there. They're protected from bankruptcy laws and things like that. Their estate wouldn't be taken over and that kind of thing. So,
right.
So with the cost of living in Tampa versus other parts of Florida, for example, or other states, what is that like?
So our cost of living overall is a little slightly less than the national average. You're going to see where some costs have increased. The biggest contributors are transportation, food, and housing. Our housing has consistently gone up. Houses that you probably could have got for 180,000 back 4 or 5 years ago are now in the lower 200s. So, but you will also see the increase in food, groceries. I know a lot of people who move here, they say that, you have to have your own car. So transportation costs you're going to spend for maintaining the car and for the gas. So those type of things are always going to be on the rise.
Sure, that makes sense, but still, a median home costing about $220
Yep.
is absolutely outrageous when you can. When I consider the median, you cannot get a studio apartment up here for $220. You can double that and maybe get something. But anyway, so what about medical facilities, hospitals, doctors, and so forth? That's an important thing for retirees to consider. So, what can you tell us about, hospitals, medical?
We have several public, private, and also VA hospitals here. One of the hospitals in downtown Tampa, right there on the water, is Tampa General. They have been ranked the nation's top 50 hospital, and they specialize in 6 different type of varieties. One of them I know is heart. Morton Plant is another hospital that's in the Tampa Bay area. They've been ranked top 10 on the U.S. News and World Reports as the best hospital list. They have also additional 4 other area hospitals.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's called Morton, Morton Plant, Plant. Okay.
Correct. And also on a list of consistent hospitals that are ranked really high is the Moffitt Cancer Center. Unfortunately, if you have to, go through that process, they have been ranked as one of the best hospitals in the state of Florida. And of course, we also have several in-home healthcare options. I know I used that for my mother when she lived with me. I did have home health come, and that was a blessing because she didn't have to go anywhere.
I think that's great that she could stay where she was familiar and not have to move. That's great. I appreciate that very much. And did Medicare pay for that?
Yep, she actually had secondary insurance as well. So whatever Medicare didn't pick up, her secondary insurance did. But they do such a wonderful job with the billing everything for you. Even if you need therapy, whether it's, the physical therapy or occupational therapy, they provide all those for you and they just come right to the home. It's lovely.
Well, that's good for people to know that they have that option as well. So I know public transportation in Tampa, they've talked about high-speed rail and stuff like that, but nothing has transpired yet. But they don't have really good transit system. But what options? You mostly have to drive or take an Uber or what?
Yeah, the best thing here really would be to have your own vehicle if you could. The city bus system is there. And they do have the Uber, the Lyft, the taxis, of course. They have bike share system that's realistically more for downtown areas. We do have a ferry that started, I think it was last year, takes you to Tampa to St. Pete, across the water if you don't want to drive across the bridge. But for the most part, if you are wanting to get around and go see things, the best option would be to own your own vehicle.
Yeah, so I know there's some of the neighborhoods down there that are convenient. You can go shopping into restaurants and stuff. Could you name some of those neighborhoods so that if somebody wanted to ask you more about it, they would know which ones to inquire about?
Absolutely. West Chase is a big one that has several different restaurants and stores throughout it. And you can have some of the neighborhoods that are around in there are great for walking to them. Seminole Heights is just booming right now they have a lot of those